All right, testing. That gets it shared. All right, so I believe I left off with adding new widgets and editing them. So the first thing we're going to do is update this. I think I'm going to make this its own thing. That way I can hide and delete it as needed. And then I will get rid of the update button and make it dynamic. Oops. The first thing I'm going to do is make a new directory, name it Windows, because I do want to move this utility pane into its own thing. So start with an init, initialize it as a package, new Python utility. Oops. I'll worry about that later. And then edit. You know what? I'm going to be a little bit more descriptive. All right, property editor, utility panel. Let's start with the utility panel. Let's inherit the properties at top level. You know what? I don't know if I'll need base directory yet, so we'll leave that out for now. Let's see. Let's need this utility panel. Create. Let's create pane. So both that title. widget panel. I think it's 250. Height equals 600. Then copy this over here. Get rid of that. All right. Where is this called? Oh, I should probably import this first. And so, create pane. And then widgets, import. And widgets dot create label imports. Label. Oh, well, no, because this is from. There we go. Widgets. Create label, of course. Create label. Now I think I only need one dot there. So then down here, I can get rid of that. And then I do need base directory, so self.basedir equals basedir. Then over here, in main, I need to pass self and self.basedir. So let's see if that works. It does not. Maybe I did need double dots. Alright, so I'm not going to inherit the. Oh, wait. That would probably help. Utility. I do need to pass the widget, so self.widget. Widget. Self.widget equals widget. There we go. Oh no. Okay, so self.app. There we go. And then I'll open this, change that to 55. All right. So now that we got that back functioning, this is its own thing. All of the logic for the widget panel will be in its own file. That'll create some separation, make it a little bit easier to work with. So the next thing we need to do is prevent this from being closed, because once you close it, you can't add any more widgets, which I believe is TK protocol. Let's see. Yep, protocol W window management, delete window. All right, so that protocol, and it was WM was WM delete window. There we go. Oh, no. Okay. So, stuff on close. So, yeah, let's go ahead and then stuff on close. So, event. And I wanted to do nothing. I guess I need to pass E as the event since it is an event. Oh, you know what it is? I think that's what's giving me an error. Nope, still throwing an error. So now that the window cannot be closed, we'll probably do some error handling later. That way, if you do click the X button, it'll close. It'll give you a warning and then close out the entire software. But for the time being, let's go ahead and move over to this edit. Oops. So we're going to move this over here, kind of keep the same base format. So import tkinter stk. We're going to skip the imports, the widget imports right now. Let's see. Yeah, because it's all right here. So class, edit, widget. Let's see property editor. Don't need the top level. Def class. Super unit. We're not going to pass anything right now. And then we need to make the same geometry. So, create pane, self.geometry width equals 250, height equals, why was I setting geometry twice? Oh well, we're fixing it now. Height equals 600, self.title, property editor. We'll leave that for now, but eventually what we do want to do is pass the dictionary name, like the key of the dictionary for the widget that we're editing, and we'll make that the title. Leave that for now. We'll move that up. Copy all this. All right. And then this needs to be done better. So last week I just hard coded all the values, but I should probably figure out how to get a list of attributes. Looks like you can just get keys. Let's try it. We'll do it over here because I know this one's working. And it would be buttons.keys. Print. We are dealing with label.keys. And we'll see if that works. We'll create a label. Print our label dictionary. Click here. Perfect. That's our quick event. So what we'll do with this is, first I want to turn this into a JSON so we can then update the layout with all this information. And then I just want to make sure that all right, so we'll just leap over this. So I will probably need to make another JSON with options because some of these are specific options. For example, anchor, you have to type something specific for that. So for the time being, let's continue to use this, and I will add more to it. So we need a reference to the layout. I wonder if I can import the JSON as a Python package. All right, we'll need to dynamically reference that. So this will at least need base directory. I'm not going to point that. Because, let's see. Right here. So, we'll need to load that. Alright, so every time this window is updated, we need to load the JSON file. We need to load the JSON file to handle all the properties. And then over here, I guess this needs to be updated a bit. It'll need to be probably another dictionary. So what I am thinking, let's just do a new page. Let's see. Project. Here it is. Whoops. All right, so this needs to stay root, but here, I'm just gonna make this a JSON file. New. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of this, and then from here, we need a type, and it's going to be string. We need options. They'll be null, and then value will be root. So that way, whenever we get this label, anytime we update it, we can use this to figure out how to make the drop downs, or if it needs to be an entry box, if it needs to be a radio button, whatever we need. And then I'm just going to copy this for Y. Yeah, figured it wouldn't let me put it there. All right, so this can be dumped over here now. And we want to go ahead and point this to our property editor. So I need to figure out where this is being used. I need to figure out where this click label is used. Ah, right here in the bind. So we can comment that out. And then if we run it. Okay. Now we just need to add value here. And then X, value, labels, label number, doesn't need a value there. So if we rerun this, it should work again. Perfect. Now we need to add the click functionality back. All right, I had to take the dog out. My bad. But now we need this to work again. So this bind, let's see. That bind will need to reference the property editor. And the property editor will have to re-show the window. Let's start with that. Let's start with Let's start with redeploying the window. So let's go down here. All that is for actual data. We'll do a self.withdraw, def, update, window, self. Can I check if it's withdrawn? I don't really know what to do right now. Nope, that's if it exists. Let's drag and drop this. I do run my AI locally, so this is all hosted on my computer. I am using Llama 3. I need to make that. One second. So we're gonna initialize this as false. If not showing, self.ti quantify, and then we want over here to point to update window. So main will have to import it from Windows property editor, import property editor. Self dot property editor equals property editor self. Yeah, let's go ahead and pass all that. More likely we'll need it anyway. Widgets, self dot widgets equals widgets, spelling equals false. And then whenever we do this down here, we'll pass the property editor. And then from create, so property editor equals property editor. And now from here, we'll be able to call self property editor dot update window, and what do we have here before? Label. Go ahead and pass the label. So we want to show it, and then we want to print out the widget down here. Property. What's the last thing I gave it? Prepositional arguments before we're given. I don't need the self. So base dir, base widget. Okay, so upon creation. Oh, because we never actually created it. So self.create pane that should format it and hide it. Done. Oh, was that? Okay, so we do need to pass self, property editor. So base directory, let's start with self. So then we'll do parents up here, and then self dot parent equals parent. That's not what I wanted. No, I don't want to run bug. There we go. So create the label. Create label is missing property editor. So where am I missing this? because it's widgets dot create label, import create label. Cut down on some of this dot notation. And create label takes in base directory, widget list, parent, and property editor, which I have right there. Oh, you know what? That's why. It's trying to create that reference before the reference is created. Nope, still getting an issue. All right, in utility panel, line 21. Oh, okay. So I need to pass. Let's see. Oh, okay, because I was updating the utility panel, but we're not using this utility panel anymore. So self.property editor, and then the utility panel, self.property. I should make the reference first. Property editor, self.property editor equals property editor, self.property editor, right? Are these import issues? Resolver. Yeah, so I'll worry about that later. Let's try this again. Order of your code is important, people. There we go. And then I can close that. Ah, okay. So now that we got that working, we need to update the property editor to have the same on close, well, a similar on close as the utility pane. So def on close self, we want it to withdraw, and then from the create, we need self dot protocol lambda self dot on close, which I don't think I need to call it that way. I'm pretty sure I can just, yeah. So now, create this, so exit that out, and it just closes it. All right. And then I would like to confirm that. So, what I'm going to do is pull up my resources. And we're just going to watch Python to see if there's any memory leaks. So, it is saying it's 16. I've done something similar like this before, and an issue that I ran into, which I didn't know about at the time, was a memory leak. Basically, every time I clicked on something and something like this popped up, it was creating a brand new window, and it was allocating memory to that window, and then I destroy it, but it still hold on to that memory. For what reason, I don't know. I haven't got into like a lot of the lower architecture, like the why behind the programming, on like a computer level, but it is something that I try to keep in mind and look for moving forward. So that's good. I've opened this up a couple times. We've actually went down in memory, and I can't edit anything yet, but all of this is looking good. So the next thing is probably passing that dictionary. Where is it? Is it it's right here. So let's go ahead and move this over here. This all looks good. I'm going to get rid of some of this. All right. Uh, clean up that a little bit. I should probably. I should probably make a. Let's go ahead and save it where we are right now. All right, we're still on the GUI engine, so readme, get source, get status, get commit. So far we've created the main windows and their connections with each other. Some, I guess, workflow handling has been added. EG preventing the close widget panel and the hiding of the properties panel instead of each one. Yeah. All right. So the next thing we want to do is I think we're going to be done with source or the main for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out because we're going to be working in these two panels for the rest of today. We can get rid of the scratch pad. Go ahead and get rid of that. And let's see. In the crate label, the label is passed. So go ahead and print the keys so we can have a quick reference for that. There we go. Label. Oops. Now we are not going to add all of these. But I am going to put them here as a reference for now. And Oh, this is taking longer than I expected. Okay, so text. We have text there, string nullable, and then positionings. How do you make a? I don't think there's. According to JSON standard, JSON should only contain data structures like arrays, not include comments. Okay. So I won't be able to add comments to separate these out. So this is going to be place options. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of these. So we already got text. Let's do. Oh, I wasn't done. Let's go ahead and add anchor. Oh, you know what? We can add width and height. That's another good one. So the widget width and the widget height, those are all going to be none. Let's do a default width of 100 and a default height of 20. Then we can go ahead and update our create. Let's equals and oh, it did both of them for me. Perfect. I am going. You know what? While we're here, Python -m to install black. Oh, it's black 8. Was it black 8 or just black? I think it's just black. Python -m to install Flake. I think it's Flake 8. Yep. Okay, so then it's just black. All right. So where are we? We're going to go into source. We're going to go into widgets. And we are going to select create link label.py. Black and Flake are Python formatters, so Black will format for you, and then Flake 8 create labels will show you any formatting things that you are missing. Yep, so I got a couple things that are too long according to Python standard. I'm not going to worry about them right now. Let's see, it says 83 and 85. I wonder if, hold on, let's try that one more time. Oh, 71 and 107. Yeah. And the 107's down here. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about those. I think I have mine set to 120 instead of 80, just to give me a little bit more room, make it a little bit more readable. I might go back and reformat this myself, but for the time being, this looks better. I can read my values better. So I'm going to leave it for now. I am going to close that because I do want to reference it. And then updates. I think we're going to update. We're going to move update to the property editor. And we're going to make that a listening function. So whenever a value is updated, it'll update. So the next thing that we need to do is in property editor, I need to load the JSON file. Oops. Base directory. Widgets. Layout.json. All right. Need to import OS. And then RAM parameters equals an empty dictionary with open JSON path as file, and I want it to be read only. We're gonna have to we'll just have to dump everything. Self.generate label. Parameters equals. Get rid of this one. So dump the JSON layout file. And then don't need this anymore. We'll come back to it actually, because we will need that whenever we start adding more labels. I do want to print the widget though. Let's print widget and then print I think that should work. So create label. Yep. Yep. So if I need to get like just the name from that. Uh Oops, I flubbed everything in there. All right, let's see if Thunder label works. Was under class name, right? Perfect. All right. So that's how we'll tell what kind of widget we're working with. Widget type equals widget. Whoops. Last name. We can get rid of this now. And then let's print self.parameters to make sure that we are getting the correct information. For label. Self.set parameters. That will be important to do. All right. And it is a lowercase label. I think that was uppercase. Just for simplicity, we'll go ahead and make that uppercase. And then I want to print the parameters of the widget type. And that shouldn't throw any errors because that's the only thing we have in here. It should be readily easy to check. Either it works or it won't work because it's the only thing we have. Yep. Oh, wait, no, that's something different. No, I want to undo that. All right. Yep. All right, so now that we got that, we can loop over the keys. Just to make sure we get the right keys. That, bam, bam, dictionary, parent, perfect. So, for attribute and self.parameters, widget type, print attribute. Okay, and then print attribute type, right? Yeah, that should be the first one. Maybe key value. What does that do? Yep, too many things to unpack. Okay, so we'll go back to this and self dot parameters. Widget type key type. Basically, I want to penetrate that last dictionary. And once I can verify that, uh, now we can start dynamically creating these. So we'll start by getting rid of this print statement. Type equals that. Oh, that's funny. If I'm going to dynamically do this, I need the engine that I'll be using to make these once the final file is spit out. Oh, I wonder if I can loop that. That's. I'm just gonna make a pseudo engine for now. I'll copy it from the first live stream, and then I will try to figure out how to use that engine within the engine. I'm going to change those ints to strings though, just to make this easier. No, because I need some kind of data handling or error handling, so I will be leaving those ints. If type equals, are these all? Yep. String for self dot info children self dot oh wait for child and child dot destroy. If string you will need a label equals tk dot label self text equals key label dot hack and then entry equals ck dot entry. These need to be stored somewhere. Now that I'm thinking about that, self dot property widgets equals and then entry dot hack outside self dot property widgets key equals. Yeah, key equals entry. Yeah, because we'll reference the key since we'll know all the keys, and those keys will be the value of those keys will be the entry as the widget. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. That's right. But let's see if this works. Create label. Not how I was expecting it, but it did work. So we need to tweak that a little bit. Let's do top instead. How did I have it over here? I just had fill X. All right, let's see if that fixes it. That, perfect. So now we just need to add a title to that to make it all capitalized. And uh, we're just gonna copy and paste this for now. And actually, we're going to do match type. Case string. This will make it a little bit more readable. Case int. And then let's see if we can limit tkinter entry to numbers only. Which was we'll implement that later. It looks like you need to have some regex and custom implementation of that. Type, RAM type. All right, and then finally, I would like to print self.property widgets. Perfect. Parent text. Yep. All right. The next step, let's see, do I have time? I can spare a little bit of time. The next step is to getting this to update dynamically. Actually, no, we need to fill these. Let's see. Oh no, we should probably keep it there. We need to fill these entries. Entry dot insert 0 dot parameters. What is that? What is that? Oh, duplicates. What will be okay, we'll figure something out. Oh, you know what? That looks better. All right. Root label. Perfect. Okay, the W should work. Boom, boom. All right, we'll have to come back and make those labels bold, but for the time being, that should be good. Now, I think I'm going to try to create a listener and call it a day. So first, let's create another variable, self.widget, current widget. Self.current widget equals widget, print current widget, but also print self.widgets. Go. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and move that out of the way, and I want to click on this self.current widget. Okay, what if I create another widget? Self.current widget. If I can get that index, then I won't have to like, backwards traverse this dictionary. Let's see if we can figure that out. Actually, I think I have it figured out. Where is it? That's right here. Because if that has a number, that number will always be one in front of. Oh, that's the class name. Okay, there has to be another tkinter method, though. Maybe it's just tkinter name. You could always just split. I'm splitting on the period. What is my input? Yeah, yeah, that would be one method. Oh no, I still have to backwards traverse it. I just thought about that because if you want to change, the goal is to have the user be able to change the name of the widgets so that whenever they do spit out that file, they can tell exactly what widget they're editing. They're not going to look for label 7. They want to be able to see that in the labels dictionary that there's a label named title, and that'll be the title of their application. So, still got to reverse. And I have the key return from a dict if I prolong the flight. So now it looks like I'm going to have to go through the entire dictionary. Alright. So, update window. Oh, I didn't even try that. Now, let me restart that. So, create label, that, text. I have no way to implement that. I need to find a way to update that. Oh, you know, I don't need. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. I am doing that super wrong. That's why I have bad information. Okay, wait a minute. This entry needs to not be that. It needs to be start current widget dot values. No, that can't be right. I think this is where I need to loop through the dictionary. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw this down here. Def get widget data self for key value in self dot widgets with value equals self dot current widget return key. Self dot get widget data. Let's see if I big brain this. Self dot get widget data. Yep, that is a C thing, not a Python thing. Uh, uh I tried. Okay. Oh wait, you know what? This right here. I just gotta pass widget type. Because that should go one layer in, so we'll labels. Oh, okay. So I gotta go back to main to fix that. Because main has this right here. So I am updating the base widgets where it's created to be a capital L labels because we updated that. And I'm also going to remove the S. And I hope that the S doesn't mess anything up. We'll find out. Yep, and create label 61. Create labels, perfect. I will come to that later. I will come back to that now. Every time charm. Too many values to unpack. 164. Labels. So far, so good. Create the second one, whatever. Okay. So, now our problem is in the property editor. Let's take a look at that. $54. I wonder if I can even turn those into lambda because they're running too quickly. Okay, we're closer. I feel like I'm missing something. Like I'm almost there, but I feel like I'm running into an issue where I don't know a specific data point. Well, current widget. Okay, so let's try it. We'll comment this out. We'll undo these three and we'll turn the value. Let's see if this works. Kind of. Dot get. We need a dot get. Oh, you know what? That's because I'm doing the wrong thing. Get with the data. Okay, so that doesn't. Okay, so the RAM type. I do need that. The RAM type. And then the RAM type. If maybe I'm doing something backwards. Print key. What does this return? Go ahead and get rid of those. Don't need that right now. I just need to print the key. It's not printing now. But would it print this up here? No. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I'm completely lost now. Let's just go back. What was happening here? Okay, so I think that one was working. I need to find these print statements now. Or a version of working. Let me go ahead and clean up these print statements so I can see what's actually going on here. I'm not actually doing anything right now, so that's part of the problem. So, go ahead and print this. Let's see what it's returning to me. Nothing. It is returning nothing. Returning a key. So, what is that? That's a yeah, it's a new value soundtrack. On 61 to new value soundtrack. So this is part of the issue. Okay, so that's just good. Sometimes it's C get, I believe those are for labels, and then sometimes it's getting, I still get that confused. No. I guess I should also probably pass E. Alright, let's see what we're getting from the keys. Forgot to add key. Yeah, key equals X. So, print. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm back. This key is not equal to parent. Actually, you know what? I think that was working. Okay, so yeah. Always something gets returned whenever we go check this. Undefined. Okay. So we still need. I'm still missing something here. Print self dot widgets. I didn't even catch that. Hold on. I don't remember what happened. Well, no, it's not going to throw any errors. Oh, no, but it is. Okay, so print the widgets. And then I need for widget and soap dot widgets. Print widget. That's the next thing I needed. Okay. And too many things to unpack. Print self widgets is right. See what our current widget is against the widgets. Self dot widgets. Okay, that's closer. For widgets in you know what? Let me. What it is. Widget types. Put that up there. They'll narrow it down to just labels, right? Nope. Maybe that whittles it down to just widget. widgets. I need to clean this up a little bit. And another line break. Boom. What did he do? Oh, there's the name that I need. So let's go ahead and widget name equals widget. And then current widget. So I'd have to print self.widget, widget type, widget name. All right, so that's what I was looking for. I want to be able to use this. So, self widgets, just a dictionary of widgets. Widget type is specifically label, whatever that is. And then the widget name is the specific widget you're looking at in this for loop. And then we can compare that to the current widget. And we'll return the text based off of that. So, the self.widgets, widget type, widget self.current widget. Then we want to return self.widgets. Am I stupid? No, because I need to find the specific one. So return self.current widget dot all right. So you get let's just see get text in. That's not right. Hit that. Boom, boom. Nope. I think I'm gonna call it a night. I am getting tripped up, and I don't think I'm gonna get this tonight. I might come back and take a look at it um, during the week and try to come a little bit more prepared next week. But indexing these widgets is throwing me for a loop right now. So